Most NBA players live in mansions, drive expensive cars, and buy whatever they want. But some NBA players are cheap just like you and me.
I'm not turning on data roaming. I'm not buying no apps. I still got Pandora with commercials. I'm not paying.
These are the cheapest players in NBA history. And for number one, the richest player in the NBA is actually the cheapest player in the NBA.
Who is the cheapest guy in the NBA?
Who is it?
And Dwayne Wade says, LeBronJames.
That is so falsely true.
LeBron grew up as poor as you can get, so when he got the opportunity of a lifetime to play in the NBA, he didn't think twice. Getting drafted at 18 years old, being the face of the NBA, and fast forwarding just 19 years later, when he became the first active NBA player to reach a billionaire status. But throughout all of his success, LeBron always remembered his childhood, and how he was always one day away from living on the streets. So even after LeBron became the richest player in the NBA, he spent his bread like he didn't have any. During the NBA Finals, getting ready for the biggest games of his career by listening to music on Pandora. But of course, he didn't want to break the bank and drop $10 a month on Pandora Premium. So in between his NBA Finals hype music, a commercial would have to play in between. And just 3 years later, Pandora heard about LeBronJames and his cheap habits, so they hooked him up with a free membership. And the word free is just something LeBron can't pass up. And that's just the beginning of LeBron being cheap, because when Elon Musk announced an $8 monthly subscription to get a blue check on Twitter, LeBron immediately tweeted, letting everyone know there was no way he was going to pay to keep his check. But that's when Elon decided to troll LeBron. After telling everyone he wasn't paying for his silly blue check mark, LeBron still had it. And after a few days, that's when Elon finally let everyone know that he personally paid for the king and a few other people's free subscriptions. This man LeBron will drop $1.4 million on a Porsche and $36 million on a Beverly Hills mansion, but an $8 a month subscription is where he draws the line. But if we're talking about the cheapest players in NBA history, we can't forget about Kawhi Leonard. He was born in Compton, California, and when Kawhi was growing up, it was one of the most dangerous cities in the world, with the most murders in the entire country. His family didn't have a lot, and it became even harder when his parents split up when he was only 5 years old. To support her family, Kawhi's mom had to work all the time, and Kawhi even missed his freshman year tryouts because his mom was working overtime, so the coach wouldn't allow him to play basketball that year. His father owned a local car wash to get by, and Kawhi would help out when he wasn't in school. But it was here when his father would end up being another victim to Compton.
The victim is 43-year-old Mark Leonard. He was shot and killed in front of his car wash in Compton. He was the father of NBA star Kawhi Leonard.
It was January 18th, 2008, and it seemed like any other day. Kawhi was getting ready for a game he had later that night, but he received a phone call that would change his life forever. Not only did he lose his dad, but to this day, no one knows who or why they did it. Kawhi somehow still playing his game later that night, crying in his mom's arms as soon as it ended. And not only did he have to deal with the loss of his father, but this made it even harder for a young Kawhi to grow up. Now with just a single mother, there wasn't a lot of extra money to go around. So when he was drafted with the 15th pick in the 2011 NBA draft and signed a 4-year $8 million contract, that was the most money he had ever seen. But this didn't change his cheap lifestyle, and even though he's the 25th highest earner in NBA history, he still drives the same beat up old 97 Chevy Tahoe that he's had since high school. He named it the Gas Guzzler, but why does a rich NBA player drive a 1997 Chevy Tahoe? Well, the answer is simple, because it runs and it's paid off. And Kawhi does more than just drive a car worth less than $1,000, because he knows how to save money with coupons too. In 2016, Kawhi just signed a new contract worth over $90 million. And on top of that, he got a new sponsorship with Wingstop. And just like anyone else, Kawhi was excited not for the money, but for all the free food. You see, Kawhi's addicted to Wingstop's mango habanero wings, and Wingstop had to hook him up with a bunch of coupons so he could feed his addiction without having to pay for it. But when he realized he lost them, Kawhi panicked. And luckily for Kawhi, Wingstop knew he couldn't live without his wings, so they hooked him up again, making sure he could feed his addiction without breaking the bank. I think Kawhi may be the cheapest player in the NBA, but Giannis Antetokounmpo might be a little cheaper. Giannis has almost made $200 million so far in his career, but growing up, no one expected him to become a multi-millionaire. He was born in Athens, Greece, and since his parents were both undocumented, they had to spend all day long selling items on the street or at beaches in order to make money to put food on the table. Many times, they couldn't even eat, and Giannis's first meal wouldn't come until 11 o'clock at night. Giannis and his 4 brothers were trying anything they could do to help their parents support the family. But one day when he was about 13 years old, him and his brothers were playing tag in the street, just like any normal kids would, when he was spotted by a man that would change his life forever. This was the man who gave Giannis his first chance of playing basketball, and the first thing he told him was, look, if you play basketball, I can help your family with money. Basketball was Giannis' way to help his family, and he played his way up to being an NBA prospect quickly, even though he was still learning to play the game, and he knew right away that he wanted to become an NBA player.
My name is Giannis Antetokounmpo. I want to be NBA player.
In 2013, he achieved his dream, drafted 15th to the Milwaukee Bucks, but during his rookie season, he was almost forced to leave the NBA. Giannis had to leave his family back in Greece to go play in the States, and they meant more to him than money and fame. So if his family wasn't able to move with him in the next couple years, he would leave it all just to be with them. His rookie contract was $8.6 million over 3 years, and he still did everything he could to support his struggling family, sending every penny he made to them back home in Greece. And I mean, he sent every single penny. It was game day for the Bucks, and Giannis was trying to catch a cab to get to the arena when he realized he had no money left. Already late for the game, he started sprinting to get there on time, and luckily for Giannis, after going as fast as he could for a mile, a couple of fans noticed the 7-foot Greek freak sprinting and offered him a ride to the game. But even though Giannis has plenty of money now, he's still one of the cheapest players in the NBA. He takes full advantage of everything he can get for free, including in the NBA bubble. I mean, water in their hotel was $7. Can you really blame him for stocking up if those are free? And waters aren't the only thing he wants for free, because after he dropped a 50-piece in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, he went straight to Chick-fil-A and had a very specific order.
Can I have a 50-piece? There's 150,000 people watching you right now.
Really?
Yes. A 50-piece Mac Minis, 50 exactly.
Okay.
Not 51, not 49. Chicken minis, yes. 50.
Giannis generated Chick-fil-A $294,000 in brand value, all because he went live to over 150,000 people, and he was determined to get free food. He kept pulling up at random Chick-fil-A's and asking employees if he can have free food for life after winning the championship.
Free Chick-fil-A for life!
And his wife kept telling him the random employees can't grant him his wish because they're a national chain. But Giannis was unfazed. He wanted that free food, and he finally got it. But instead of free chicken nuggets, he got free burgers because Culver swooped in and offered the star free Culvers for the rest of his life.
Look, last time I went to Chick-fil-A and got the nuggets, but now tomorrow I think I'm gonna go to Culver's, go get 50 cheeseburgers, and I'm gonna try to eat as many as I can, and the rest I have my son eat them, because Chick-fil-A did not give me no free meals. I know Culver's will give me free meals. I trust Culver's.
This man will do anything for free food, and his fans were loving it. But another thing his fans loved was the gift his wife got for him.
She gave me the idea.
No. So, she bought me this too.
Stop putting it. There's little kids on there.
So, guys, you know, the freak.
Stop. What is wrong with you?
He could be a freak on the court and on the shit,
Oh my
you know
God.
what I'm saying?
You're embarrassing yourself.
Yo, this man Giannis is really a freak. But this next NBA player takes it to a whole nother level to save money.
Any coupons, sir?
Carmelo Anthony was born in the Red Hook housing projects in New York, where his father passed away due to liver failure when he was just 2 years old. He moved to Baltimore and again grew up in the projects, experiencing poverty, violence, and tragedy, including the death of his cousin, who was like a brother to him. The only thing that took his mind off his surroundings was his true love, basketball. But going into his first year of high school as a freshman, he was cut from the team just like Kawhi, and he knew the only way to get his family out of the projects was to make it to the NBA. From then on, he treated basketball like it was life or death. His next year, he grew 5 inches and became a local star, which led him to being one of the top high school prospects in the country, even going head-to-head against his best friend. He attended Syracuse and went on to win a national championship with them during his freshman year. Melo would get drafted 3rd overall in the 2003 NBA draft, 2 spots after LeBronJames, and signed his first NBA contract for $10.4 million. He became a top 10 scorer in NBA history and earned over $262 million in his career, which puts him at 13th in NBA history. But that doesn't stop him from being one of the cheapest players in the NBA. Melo never wants to go back to the projects, so to save money, he does extreme couponing. Back in 2011, he said, "I go to the supermarket, make sure I get the newspaper and tear the coupons out, save $1 or $2. I've got the paper open with coupons, ripping them. I'm human too." An NBA player worth $160 million will still go out of his way to save a few extra bucks on some groceries. Imagine being in line at the grocery store and it's taking too long because Carmelo Anthony is out here cutting out coupons. And what's even weirder is what Melo is buying. His favorite snack is PB&J sandwiches. I mean, who doesn't love PB&J? But he refuses to eat it unless it's with crunchy peanut butter and strawberry or blueberry jelly on a cinnamon raisin bagel. I hope he at least found some coupons to save some money for his PB&J. But this video was about cheap NBA players. If you want to see Steph Curry embarrass his opponents, I'd check out this video right here.